आयत भक्ति मृक्केदा महामहिमोज्ज्वल सत्य धर्म संधायिकी लोक रक्षण विधायिकी भक्त मन सरोरुह स्थायिकी दीनहीन जनता फलदायिकी तल्ली गुंडेलो हायिकी तल्ली गुंडेलो हायिकी पुट्टपर्ति कलशांबुधि सायिकी सत्य सायिकिन् पुट्टपर्ति कलशांबुधि सायिकी आयत भक्ति मृक्केदा. Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering my most humble and reverential salutations at Bhagavan's divine lotus feet. Sai Ram to all of you. So, when I was told that I'm one of the speakers for the retreat, I thought retreat. I was blessed with an opportunity to go to a young adult retreat, and we had about 100 brothers and sisters, and it was probably a smaller room, and it felt like, okay, maybe I was talking to my own friends, maybe age group, and so I thought something similar would be the case. And when sirs were walking me through this platform, when I see the devotees and when I saw this platform, I was like, am I going to speak here? Absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much, Swami. Thank you so much to everybody for giving me this opportunity to remember and experience His love and share it with all of you. So when Sendil sir, the center president, was asking a few questions, I started getting scared because some of the questions were what I was going to speak today about. So where were you born, or when were you introduced to Swami? So I was like, sir, you're going to make me tell everything out, then I won't have anything to speak. So let me just wait for some time. And I didn't speak out any of my things so that I can share with you all here. So just giving you a brief introduction on how my family came to Swami. So this is Sathya Sai district, and there is a place called Dharmavaram above Puttaparthi, and there is a place called Hindupur. And with Bhagavan's blessings, I was fortunate to be born in a place called Hindupur, and where my mother was raised. My father's family came from Dharmavaram, but the person who introduced us to Bhagavan was my grandfather, Sri Nagbhushan Rao Garu. So he was working for railways in Dharmavaram, and since Puttaparthi did not have railway station, a lot of parcels that came to Prashantinilayam used to go through Dharmavaram, and the Sevadals used to take it through. And through that, by attending bhajans, my grandfather got introduced. So generally, everyone has a story of how they got introduced to, or a big story. There was nothing magical. It's just that he went for a bhajan session and Swami came into our lives. And then my father was also a part of the Balavikas movement. And one such experience was he got training as a Sevadal in Dharmavaram, and he was also one of the youth members to do seva, especially for Swami's 55th birthday. They had to take in a lot of parcels from Dharmavaram to Prashantinilayam, and so many youth were involved in as a part of it. And my father also wanted to be a part. And after doing a lot of work, because by then there was no, as I said, railway station, so Swami was so happy with the Dharmavaram Sevadals, so he called, it seems he called all of them and said, called them to Bhajan Hall for a special Pada Namaskar blessing and giving safari clothes. And so my father was so happy that he would be receiving from Swami's own hands. But unfortunately, it so happened that somebody, by mistake, missed out his name from the list. So everybody except him got called by Swami. They went to Swami, got Pad Namaskar, and my father was left behind somewhere. So he was weeping, he was literally crying. And one small side anecdote to this is, it seems there was a kid, a Bal Vikas kid from, I think it was in Mumbai, Dharmakshetra. He had a flower to offer to Swami. And it was Swami. Swami had come to Dharmakshetra. Everybody had darshan. And this boy was so happy. He didn't give his flower to Swami also, but he was so happy after darshan. Everybody kept going to him and asking, what happened during the darshan? Did Swami talk to you? Did Swami bless you? Did you get any special attention? It seems this boy just said, I had Swami's darshan. So basically, getting his darshan itself is such a blissful thing. But what happens is, the first enemy we compare, and then we get confused, and then we tend to complain, and then we contemplate on that complaining factor, and finally we start cursing ourselves, saying maybe my karma is not good, Swami is not blessing me. And I think that's a cycle that keeps going. I'm going to refer to this cycle back in a few minutes. But this cycle happened to my father. He was very, very upset. And the next day was his job interview. So he didn't have dinner also. He went to the Dharmavaram Puttaparthi bus stand and he took a bus to Hyderabad. And he straight went to Hyderabad, interview panel. From morning to evening he was waiting, and at 4 o'clock his turn came. And he went to the interview panel, and as the person was going, the interviewer was going through the files, he promptly opened the last 3 pages of the certificates. And he found Sevadal training certificates from Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, India. So this person was, oh, so are you a Sai Baba devotee? That was the first interview question that my father faced. He said, yes. There is no vibhuti on your forehead. He said, sir, I had put it in the morning, but I'm sitting outside since morning, so it might have gone. Do you have Swami's photo? He said, yes, it's in my pocket, and he showed it. Do you have vibhuti? He said, yes. And then the interviewer asked for the vibhuti, and he took, and that's where, somewhere my father started feeling, okay, this is not an interview that I thought, it's being directed somewhere. And then after a few seconds, he said, okay, this part of your life has gone well. Let me ask you about subject. And he turns to the subject. And when something starts off on that note, right, you're on your complete high, Swami's grace, everything went on well. And this was this company called Ashok Leyland automobile company from Chennai. And for next 40 years, my father worked and retired from that. Means Swami did not give him a safari, but he gave us all a life post that. His delays are never his denials. Sometimes we may think, why is Swami not doing something that I wanted, or apparently something by mistake or confused. But Swami obviously has a plan, and there is one small sub-story that in 1981, when my father finished diploma, this was around 1981, and my father asked my grandfather that Swami's university has opened. Like, that was when Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning came, although the colleges existed before. So my father asked my grandfather, can I join? And they were not in a monetary situation to be able to join then. And so he had to work, and my grandfather said, I don't think it's possible, dear. So, and then he worked for railways, and then he came into Ashok Leyland. But now, 45 years later, Swami blessed my father with an opportunity to teach Swami's students as a supply chain management faculty expert for the MBA. And the cycle is complete, and probably he had to wait close to half a decade. And are we ready to wait patiently to see what He has for us? Because sometimes, especially for me, in front of all the doyens sitting here, I can name each of them whom I know, whom I have looked up to as growing up in Swami's fold. What are the experiences? I was there in Swami's physical presence for just 2 years. So this is obviously in this sense, I am the 3G or the third generation devotee of Swami. But brothers and sisters, I think one thing, that faith in Swami is not inherited. Devotion to Swami or love for Swami cannot be inherited. It has to come when He blesses us and when He calls us. After becoming a Swami student, in Swami's physical proximity, there were times where we sometimes, manda buddhi, it goes off and then we tend to question Him. But that's where His love comes in on to us to show that, just love me. You don't need to do anything else. So this is the part of His delays are not His denials. And this was Sri Sathya Sai Higher Secondary School that I joined in 2009. And the statue there is very unique. It is a statue of Shri Dakshinamurti. So one unique thing about Dakshinamurti is known to teach with his silence. Means you sit in his presence, all your questions are answered. He doesn't need to talk to you. It took a lot of time for me and for many of our batchmates and juniors to understand, because every time you see a senior batch, oh, they had a better interview, they had a gratitude program interview, they spoke more with Swami, and you keep feeling that we missed out on something or the other. But somewhere, His love, and we need to be ready. That is one thing that I learned in His lotus feet. So this was in our 12th standard. So I had to, you all know that generally when we have birthdays, we go to Swami with a tray of akshatas and all that, cloves, letter, so that we go and get, Swami calls us and blesses. Previously, it used to be photograph and something more, but over a period of time, we could just go to Swami and get blessed. So once, Swami had told during the Chitravati days, I believe, that in the future, there will be days where you are looking at the string of my hair or a part of my robe and feel satisfied that you had your darshan. And those days did come, brothers and sisters. Around 2009 to 11, when I was there, I saw those days and even now you can see that, but physically those were the days. And it was my birthday. And we were having class. And generally, if we are in hostel, when we get an indication, we run out and stand on the road. But when we have class, if it's free or if the teacher is lenient, we get to run. If the teacher is a little strict, we are stuck in our class and we stand maybe by the window and have Swami's darshan. So that particular day, suddenly there was a commotion outside the window, and then all of us were told Swami's come. So I went towards the window, and literally from the angle that I saw, Swami was going by car. I saw Swami from the back. I saw Swami's robe, I saw Swami's head, and I felt, wow, my birthday morning Swami gave darshan. So evening, I'm going to get a bonus when I go with the tray. So I was all prepared, everything set, and evening I go. Those days, physically, Swami was not so healthy, so to say. And that day, Swami did not come for darshan. And we started singing, Aao bhajans, Aao Prabhu, Aao, Mujhe aakar darshan dikhao. Nothing Swami didn't seem to hear. And I came back. I didn't have dinner. My parents were there. I just kept weeping. And then sir, one of our wing teachers called us and said, see, if you don't eat, it doesn't please Swami if you are not eating. So you need to eat and pray. I'm not saying don't pray. You want to fight with Swami, but do it. So whole night I wrote letters to Swami, I prayed. And then next day, Swami came. So generally it is like when Swami comes, Swami was brought in chair. So when we are sitting, Swami comes like this and then goes on to the stage. And if Swami blesses us even on the way, then next day we don't get to come with the tray again. So that day, Swami took a turn in the ladies' side and went on to the stage. So he didn't even come towards the birthday boys. So he was like, he's fixed probably that I'm not going to come near this guy. And then bhajan started and Swami came onto the stage and I'm showing my tray like this, Swami, call me, Swami, call me. But beyond a point, it would not match with the decorum that Swami expects. So I just kept looking at him, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. And then finally he looked straight into my eyes and just called me onto the stage. And then finally I went. I got blessings. And I was able to, get akshatas from his head, take Pad Namaskar. And fast forward to 2012, I am in Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan campus. And Swami's Mahasamadhi had happened. And I was not, obviously you cannot physically get blessed. I was for some reason feeling very low that day. And I just thought, Swami, anyway, you are our best friend. And in Brindavan, somehow, Trai Brindavan gives us that feeling where that is Swami's residence. So I went to Trai Brindavan after Mandir. And then this is the entrance of the Trai Brindavan. It's not open all the time. So we just keep doing Pradakshina. And as we go around doing Pradakshina to Swami around Trai, we keep praying. And then talking to Swami. And somehow that whole conversation was so beautiful. And that particular day, because it was my birthday, I bought a whole big bar of chocolate. It's called the Dairy Milk Celebrations. I'm not sure if anyone knows. So I went and I placed it in front of the door and prayed to Swami. And I went for one Pradakshina. I came and I just took Namaskar in front of that door. And promptly those flowers which are stuck in those, green boxes, right? Like when flowers, bouquet kind of things. One of them just gets snapped and stuck on my head. Just fell while I was doing Namaskar. And I got up and I didn't have anything. And I didn't have to tell thank you because my eyes were doing the job. I didn't have to tell thank you directly. And that gave me a feeling that was one of my first experiences post Mahasamadhi, where Swami showed that you believe that I am there and I will manifest in whichever way possible for you, Bangaru. Don't worry about it. So again, going back to my school days, one of the faculty members said, so you all have white dresses. So we had to wear whites even to school and to Mandir. And imagine if we use the same pair of whites a few days, and white generally turns to become yellow, or thanks to the dhobis and things like that. So somehow, but the day we are supposed to go to Swami, or the day we are going to get Swami's blessings, we used to wear some new whites or something that has not been used. So sir pointed out this and said, see boys, you go to Swami completely decked up, when you know that you're going to talk to Swami. But what if you do the other way? Go as if every day you're going to, talk to Swami. Someday he will maybe make it a reality. We don't know that if that would happen, right? So it somehow, I could click with that. And so I started maintaining separate pairs of clothes for Mandir and for school. So the school ones are the yellow ones, and the whites are meant for Mandir and for Swami's darshan. So one particular day, I went and I was a part of bhajan group, but that day I could not go for bhajans very early. And one day, this was the only day that I was sitting behind. Otherwise, mostly we used to be blessed to be a part of bhajan group. And so I was sitting there, and suddenly it looked like my clothes were the whitest of those. And one of the brother came from behind and said, brother, we need to go for prasadam blessings. can you come inside? And that day, Swami used to keep coming in the cars in 2011 mostly. But that day, Swami came on chair without car. And then Swami sat on the dais. And I could again go and get prasadam blessings. And that again ensured that, okay, you believe that this would happen, definitely he'll make it happen. And same thing in 2011. Like this, we would go to show our 12th standard projects. I will probably end with this. I think do I have enough time? Okay, sure. Okay. So it was our 12th standard, and we had to show projects to Swami. It was just a matter of, you know what a high school project would be. There would be nothing great to show it to Swami, but just that we get an opportunity to go physically near him and then open a few pages, spend a few moments, and Swami would give us a vibhuti, and through that we get a photograph. All that matters, and which we can cherish for our life. And so we, subject by subject, we were going. So the computer science boys went, the bioscience students went, and the accountancy students went. So there was one small group that got missed out, that is MPC and Sanskrit. So we didn't have anything to show Swami. We had chemistry projects, but we were always missed. So I took it up as a duty. I went to warden and said, sir, it's unfair for us. A small group of us don't get to go to Swami. Somehow you have to create something. Okay, you take your chemistry projects. Okay, sir, we'll be ready, but you will be going only after these set of guys, is what we were told. So 10 of us, we were seated. The previous day, Swami came to Mandir and blessed the computer science students. It was somewhere around 9 o'clock at night. It was already late. So I had concluded that the next day, Swami is not going to come to Mandir. Because Swami was physically not so well those days. So I thought Swami is not going to come next day. So even though it was our project, I thought, let me get this project, the best of binding, and then go and present it to Swami the next day. So when I went to Mandir, the first thing that happened was, Swami came, and I was so shocked. Imagine what my plight was. First of all, you're predicting Swami, and second of all, you're starting to feel scared that, oh, Swami has come today. And then, okay, Swami came. I'm not sure if he's going to call these boys because I didn't have the project. The rest of them have the project. And Swami came and called these brothers. And I was lost. So all these brothers were going to show their projects. And here I am, exactly doing the C philosophy of complaining, cursing, comparing, doing everything. And then I just gave up saying, Swami, I don't have this blessing of coming closer to you. And that's when Mike came to me for bhajan. So I just closed my eyes and we sang Sai Hamara Hum Sai Ke Bhajan. I completely kept my eyes closed because I was almost tearing up and I didn't know, I was not in a position to look at Swami. So I just sang my bhajan and went back and I was wearing my slippers. That's when one of the hostel brothers came to me. He came to me and, Ananth, generally, if Swami talks to you on a certain day, that day you become a celebrity in the hostel. Or if Swami notices you, so everybody comes to you. Everyone wants to know what Swami spoke to you, things like that. So now this boy, I was very upset. He came to me, he smiled and said, bro, I was like, you got your project blessed, right? Please carry on. I don't want to indulge into any conversation, brother. And I left. I just curtly started moving on. And another brother came to me. He got vibhuti packets from Swami. And then he came and shared that Swami gave me. I said, okay, I took. And then he said, brother, you're truly blessed. See, you don't make such conclusions. I'm already, feeling very, very disheartened by what has happened. So please don't talk like that. Tell me if there is anything you need to tell. He was a brother who was close to me, so I didn't expect him to be sarcastic. Then he told me that when he was showing his project to Swami, Swami was patiently going through the pages. And all of a sudden is when the bhajan that I sang started. And it seems Swami told this brother to move, and throughout the bhajan, Swami was looking at me, and it seems Swami was following the bhajan and putting talam with his hand. If I had opened my eyes, probably I would have seen that the Lord was looking at me, and maybe we would have looked at him eye to eye. Absolutely lost that opportunity also. But somewhere it made me feel happy that he saw me. Okay, that was a consolation. But nevertheless, it kept pricking on me. Maybe this is a lesson that Swami is teaching, that when you think you are the doer, you thought that you got an opportunity to all of them. No. So all those learnings were happening side by side. And comes 2021, when I'm supposed to submit my PhD thesis. I had heard from a lot of seniors that whenever somebody is finishing thesis, Swami used to be very excited and ask them for, oh, where is your thesis? I want to see the first copy of that. So we had to send to Ananthapur for getting it printed because Patti didn't have the press that would print thesis. So me and my brother, another student, PhD student, we had to submit on the same day. So we thought if Swami was there physically, we would go to Yajur Mandir and show it to Swami because Swami would be interested in seeing our thesis first. So we decided even now we would do that. So we went to the bus stand, collected the carton box, took it to Yajur Mandir and told the Sevadal brothers, can you please keep it in front of Swami's door and open? Because before we see our thesis, we want Swami to see the thesis. And that happened. We felt very happy. We went back. And that was during COVID. So Mandir Darshans were not happening. So I told this brother, I don't think we will get any opportunity to show it to Swami in Mandir. So maybe inside the bhajan hall we might get it. But let's drop it. So we took our thesis because I was in bhajan group, thankfully. I was able to take it. Only bhajan group was allowed those days. And all the devotees could come only after the bhajans. So we went and showed it in bhajan hall. And I thought I got blessed. Swami is taken care of. And then I was returning and this brother asked, why don't we go and do the Sannidhi Darshan? I said, okay, but let's keep the thesis down. He said, no, let's hold our thesis like this and go walk in front of Swami. That will be showing to Swami, right? What else? He was very convinced. I said, okay, I will come behind you. So both of us were walking with our thesis like this in front of the Sannidhi with the public. And then the in-charge suddenly calls us, Enti PhD thesis, means I've never spoken to him till then. Means generally the instructions he gives, but never on a one-to-one basis. So he came to us and he asked, oh, is it your thesis? I said, yes, sir. Okay, you can stand separately. And then after everybody leaves, he says, he opens the barricades and says, show it to Swami. And then I go. 2011 February, I lost the opportunity, I thought. 2021 November, almost 5 minutes, I sat, showed page by page, and as I was turning pages is when it clicked that, is it what I'm thinking that is happening? And I absolutely was shocked to see that Swami does answer the prayers in a very, very, very unique way. Yes, I might not be having a photograph of physical Swami, but the emotion, the feeling is absolutely the same. So, and there was another opportunity where we used to go for bhajans and a lot of Parthi Yatras used to come. And when Parthi Yatras happen, generally devotees sing bhajans. And those days, bhajan group does not, we sit behind. So I used to generally those days take some time and go along with the students instead of going with the bhajan group. But suddenly a thought struck to me that, am I going to Mandir only to sing or only on the chances that I am getting to sing? Let me go to Mandir way ahead, way before time and then sit for darshan and be as ready as I'm going to sing. Whether I get a chance or not is a secondary thing. So I used to do this during my masters, and promptly one particular day, a Padiyatra group was singing, but they had to go for a photograph, and the elder trust members looked at two of us and said, "You guys take over the bhajans and then sing." I'm sure Nishikant sir would know that sometimes when devotees come, Swami would look at our boys and say, "You start bhajans and you continue." And something very similar like that happened, and I realized that everything that I have seen Swami physically do, he has given it to me, whether it was Burrakatha, whether it was Harikatha, and whether it is Ramakatha. All those opportunities were given to us seeing our seniors, because all that our seniors told was, brothers, just be ready. We don't know when an opportunity would be given by Swami to us. And with those few words, I thank you all for patiently listening and giving me this wonderful opportunity. And it's a blessing for me to be a part of this retreat. So I stay in this place called New Orleans. I've told this many times. So after my PhD, I had no clue that I'm going to come to the States. And somehow it happened. And when my offer letter came, it came with the thing Louisiana State University, Health Sciences Center, New Orleans, LA. Then I thought New Orleans was in LA until I Googled later on and found that actually, okay, it is LA's state, Louisiana. So I had no idea about any of these things. 13 years staying in Parthi, and then suddenly from the bhajan group and everything, I come to a place where there is absolutely no center, Sai center, anybody to, go and talk about Swami or sing about Swami or tell. And that's when again a thought struck. After a few days of obviously comparing, cursing, everything, because some of our brothers who come from there say, the first day I came, the center member came and received me, and then I got settled. Like, nobody is even there to ask me how you are, man. That was the kind of feeling that I had initially. And then slowly, the question started becoming deeper. Did I sing for Swami only because I was in bhajan group? Did I sing for Swami only because I had a mic? And that's when I went to Walmart and I got a chair, and I said, okay, Swami, this is your chair. And then I started singing to Swami from that day onwards. And one particular day, I was just buying my car in the US. One of my mentors told, Americaro karu laga, means like car is like legs. Like without that we cannot. I understood it later, but once I got the car. So when I bought my first car, it was a very sentimental thing that even in Parthi you go and show it to Swami, your cars. You just go and show it to Swami when you buy a car. And when my friend's father had gotten a car, he went and showed Swami. And it seems the first thing Swami did was he looked at the number plate and Swami did like this. 9 Raleigh de, Swami asked. And then he said, Swami, we had to pay 50 more thousand if we have to get 9. Then parle do, Swami said. So now I went for my registration and I looked at Swami's photo and said, now what would I tell you, Swami? I don't have any control. I just said this because generally when you buy a car, you have a family or you want to show it to your parents. And I felt I didn't have anyone. So, and then this number plate comes. And the number is 288 and GLM. 288 is 16 plus 2, 18. And GLM, God loves me. And nothing more was required. And so from then on, every day, Swami is my partner. Like he's the shotgun. Is it what you call, right? Yeah, he's a shotgun. So if I have to say anything, it is, and I've heard her experience also. So those are some of the things that come into our mind to get inspired to do. And so this is all I wanted to share with you all. Thank you so much. It's a blessing to be here.